why do so many women think that being submissive is a sign of weakness?
because that's what they were taught when they was younger, right? In the household, especially when the father is not there, and the mother is, very masculine. The first thing she's gonna tell her young daughter is, "Oh, you don't need a man. Right? Not, now you don't need a man." So when you tell her that, that naturally puts her in her masculine. Then she start acting like the man, which therefore she wouldn't be submissive, or she wouldn't want to be submissive, because she's so in her masculine. She's so in the role of being dominant and taking lead, and taking control, being the leader, that she have no time to sit back and actually rest, which actually puts more stress on the woman itself. Because I've seen the masculine women, and I'm telling you, it's not good for them. Like some of them just break down cry, like for no reason. But she'll be all this tough and I'm a boss babe and I do this, I do that. But when you actually sit down and have conversations with them, you actually see, oh, there's a soft side to this woman. This the side that she don't show society. But when I speak to her and we have conversations in length, I see that okay, all the things she's doing is she's just putting on a front. She actually want to be submissive. But in the position and the environment that she grew up in, now it kind of push her into this role where she don't want to be this kind of person. She don't want to be this kind of woman. But the environment push her so much to just, oh, now you don't need a man. You can do it on your own. Be independent. Do this, do that. It pushes her so far left that to come back is very hard for her. I mean, if you overstand that and you show her, okay, well, it's okay. You can come back, right? You could be a submissive woman. You can be respectful. You can do all these things if you allow her. But majority of men don't allow women to do that, right? But that's why I feel like it's so hard for women to be submissive. And the society, and I wouldn't just blame women alone. I would say men as well. The way they raise the young men as well, that have a big part to play in it too, right? If they raise us to be men, I don't feel like the women, personally, I wouldn't feel the women would have to, be so dominant, so masculine, if they raise us young men to be men in the first place, right? So I feel like it comes from both sides. I won't say it's just only one-sided, but that's something we definitely have to fix up in society. Let's continue.
Because most women that are submissive get ran over.
Okay, but
That's not true. I said if a man truly get a submissive woman, I don't think he would want to leave, because where else would he get that? Like that level of peace. Like yo, when you speak to a young lady or you spend time with a young lady, between her sexual attention versus a non-sexual attention, if I can spend time with you when we're not intimate, and I can genuinely just sit down and just enjoy your company, that means so much to me. Because I can just sit down and just enjoy your time. I don't have to be all upon you and try to make love to you. No, no, but we can actually sit back and I can genuinely enjoy that. Why would I want to leave? If you're respectful, you right, you respect me as a man. You are a good woman. You're loyal. But first thing, you have respect. First thing, first. That always comes first. The respect. The respect comes first. The other things I'm after, right? But if you're doing what you have to do as a woman, and I can just enjoy my time with you, why would I want to leave? You're being submissive. But that's my thing. These women confuse what submissive actually is versus what they doing. They think the things they doing is submissive, when it's like, okay, that's totally different. Right? And that's why I feel like we have this such disconnect between men and women, because the society just try to change the roles, make the man act like the woman act like the man, when that would not work. Because for the longest time, a man being a man, a woman in being a woman, that's what worked for us for the longest time. That's what have worked for hundreds of thousands of years. Before I was born, before you were born. That's exactly what worked for us. Why now are we trying to change this whole thing and like do something different? Why are we doing that? Why are we allowing that to happen? Why? Why are we allowing that? Because again, it's all about control when you really look at the whole thing on why it's happening. But that's why we have such problems in society now. Because the role in the man and the woman is changing. So that's why the men and the woman cannot see eye to eye. That's exactly why. That's exactly why they cannot sit down and just say, okay, well, that's my part, that's your part. Let's play our roles and let's make this thing work. We don't have that. And nobody cannot communicate with each other because they're ready to fight. People ready to get loud and get disrespectful. Instead of saying, okay, let me listen. Let me take note to what you say. We don't have that anymore. Because people cannot have open discourse. They can't because then it get very disrespectful. And then people want to get when you get disrespectful, then people want to get physical. So that's why we can have these conversations now. Let's continue.
At the same time, wouldn't you also say that a lot of men that trust their women and make themselves vulnerable will get run over as well?
Yep, because we got a friend who do it to her man all the time. Drag him through the mud.
And is it possible to be in love without making yourself vulnerable?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's not true. You have to show some level of vulnerability if you say you love somebody, right? Because then it's a side of you, it's a soft side of you. It's a side that you don't show everybody. You can't be vulnerable for everybody. And you cannot just not be vulnerable because we all are humans, right? We all have feelings, we all have emotions. So therefore, a young lady that I like and I spend enough time around her, yes, I will show some level of vulnerability. I will, right? Not crying or just, doing acting childish, but I will show how I truly feel. That's me being vulnerable. And not just showing her, but telling her how I truly feel about her, right? Showing love is being vulnerable. So if you show love, you're being vulnerable.
No. Yeah.
It's okay to be vulnerable to a man, a good man.
A good man.
A good man. A worthy man. A strong woman.
Be vulnerable to a worthy man.
A strong man.
Why does
I think it's so hard to just be vulnerable with any person. That's the thing. And that's why I think people get it wrong. You cannot be vulnerable with everybody because the information you give them, it might be personal to you. So if you tell somebody personal information about you that you don't want the world to know, but that person has a big mouth and that person will speak and tell everybody, you don't want that. So you have to be very careful with who you be vulnerable with, men or women. And that's the hard thing about it. Is being vulnerable with the wrong person. Because that wrong person will, oh, they will flip the whole script on you. Right? So that's why I have to be careful. And I know I kind of got off track of just the whole submission thing, but I feel like the women now could be submissive. It just take a lot more work. That's all it is, bro. That's all it is. It just take a lot of work now because they've been programmed from the time they was a young girl to not be submissive. So therefore, she has to fight back what she been programmed her whole life, and that's the hard part. So you have to understand women are emotion driven. They're driven by the emotions, so they go with how they feel, right? So if she feel like she is the masculine, that's how she's gonna react. If she feel like she's the feminine, that's how she's gonna react, right? But at the end, that's all I wanted to say. Peace.